and lichess.org. Hello. Sorry we're late today. Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I am the strange guy with the pet pandas. We're going to be playing chess here on lichess.org. Just want to give a shout out to the real panda in Budapest. Hopefully we'll be back there in a couple of months. Asterbait. I'll be taking chess challenges 5+3 through 7+3 here on lichess.org. No other chess site I can think of. Asterbait. Fuzzy Logic challenges us to 7+3. If you and hello Bob Sacamano. If you guys would like to challenge me, any time control between 5+3 and 7+3, that includes 5+3, 5+4, 5+5, 6+3, 6+4, 6+5, and 7+3, 7+3, and 7+3. Anyway, all those time controls, casual will accept challenges. So, last night we had a good simul here on lichess. Great donation from Clash Kid, and a lot of support from you guys. Cheer now to be number 1. Clash Kid is right here. Wow, alright. So, somebody mentioned, Nils, I think, the idea of doing a European simul. So what I'm going to do this week, I think, just let me make sure my schedule will allow for it. But I was thinking, not to cancel our concept for Wednesdays, but just to mix it up a little bit. Maybe the Wednesday will be like kind of, a different theme every week. Not to always do the same thing. So why don't we do it this week? Why don't we try to do it this week? The timing is the question. Timing this week. I could do a Wednesday stream starting a little bit earlier. Like at 11, maybe 11:15. If we started like 11:15, we did a simul on. We started early. We actually did a simul on Wednesdays. Let's try to do that. All right. This is kind of an idea on the fly I'm coming up with, but to mix up the concepts. So we don't always do Weird Wednesday. We'll have like a different theme every Wednesday. Every week a different thing. And Nils' suggestion of doing a European time simul, I think is a cool idea. So normally my streams are starting at 11, but I do have a private lesson at 2 on Wednesdays. So what I'm thinking is we start the stream at 11:15. Bob, this is a European time already. This is a European time stream. We're doing 12 noon. Basically, it's geared toward the European guys. So I'm going to do 11:15 simul on Wednesday. A second simul. Alright. We're going to do bonus simul this week. 11:15 ET. No, I'm not going to do 4 a.m. or anything like that. We're going to do a bonus simul. Wednesday. 11:15 Eastern Time. We'll try this moving forward. Okay, Fuzzy Logic. Casual 7+3. Morwa 5+3. Let's play these games. Again, if you guys want to challenge me, 7+3, 5+3 through 7+3, Blitz or casual. Blitz or rapid chess, sorry. Welcome everybody. Merle, thank you for the donation. Let's get started here. Any hope for 35 or 40-40? Well, honestly, Bob, the 40-40, I have a better shot. We could probably implement that one of these Sunday simuls now. I've been lazy, but we can try to do the Sunday to make it longer. But probably not on the Wednesday. So, if you want, we can make an effort. And I'll be flexible with you guys. We can make an effort to do, the simul on Sunday a little longer. Some people, honestly, Bob, they get turned off by the longer games, though. So not everybody's happy with a 30. Exactly, like immediately Clash Kid is like 40-40 is very long. That's the problem, you know? Maybe we could compromise, but we'll see. Let's just try to kind of feel out what most people prefer. Let's do a survey. I wish Soltiga were here today. We need someone to conduct a survey. Nils, I'm going to try to do a simul. Did you hear this on Tuesday? I'm going to, just for you, not just for Nils, but using Nils' concept. It's blitzy strange enough. I agree, Bob. I wouldn't mind a 35-35. Maybe on Sunday we'll try to implement that. I don't know if 35 is a time control, though. I'm afraid that lichess might have that option. JCS mentioned you 30-30. Well, I mean, this is like music and politics. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. Some people are going to hate 40-40, but they love 30-30. So it's going to be like everybody has their 2 cents. We need to get like an organized survey going on or something. Fuzzy logic. I don't know if I'll make it, though. It doesn't matter, Nils. We're just doing it for you. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so what does stand, though, in general, is going to be basically the idea. Let's go crazy here. Basically, the idea that Wednesday stream will be a different theme every week. It doesn't have to be Weird Wednesday unusual openings. We'll do a different theme. You guys are welcome to contribute concepts and ideas that we can implement on Wednesday. Maybe we have days where we just take requests for openings. Other suggestions. So, welcome everybody to my stream. We're going to be streaming for a little over 2 hours here. 2 hours and 15 minutes today. And we're playing Blitz and Rap Chess with commentary, accepting subscribers first. Actually, I accepted Fuzzy Logic because he was the only one. But actually, is Fuzzy Logic a subscriber? I dissed Morwa to take a non-subscriber, but it was the first game. Puzzle stream. Absolutely, it's possible. Wednesday subscriber battle against Attila Turzo. We'll have to talk to Attila about it. I mean, I'm open to it. If someone wants to be a go-between and organize something like that, you know, I'd be willing to play with Attila. Terry, what's up? Actually, Marwa is not a subscriber either. So I'm like treating him like he's a subscriber. He's a friend of the stream, but he's not a subscriber either. Puzzle streams are fun and interactive. Postal stream. Where we go postal. You think of the future... The future of chess streams will be very interactive, with people solving puzzles independently and then all the results being tallied at the end. B5. Bishop takes e6, and bishop takes h6. I'm just kidding. Am I just kidding? I mean, b5 is a very logical move. What am I going to do here? Seriously? Sack a piece for a couple pawns? Sack 2 pieces? No. I could. Okay, bishop takes e6, pawn takes e6, bishop takes h6. Or queen g6 there isn't good enough. Bishop takes h6. I've got not enough. But this time control, that sort of sacrifice, is a little out of control. And I just don't think I have quite enough. I wonder where I should go now. It seems weird to play bishop e2. But yeah, I should probably just play bishop d3 and give up on this whole kingside attack thing. Who is Fuzzy Logic? I just made a mouse slip. That's the first time I've slipped in a long time on one of the streams. Oddly. Alcohol streams. I don't know, Fuzzy Logic moves pretty fast. Who is this guy? We beat him twice, but he's into playing like 1 minute chess, I guess. Doesn't like thinking. Thinking is too hard, isn't it? Thinking takes energy. So we're going to try to do a simul on Wednesday, but I'm going to have to start early in order for the simul not to be like uber fast. Basically, that's why I normally do the 12 o'clock streams. But clearly, now we're entering a technical area here. Clearly, my king needs to go to b1. Get off the hot. Who is Fuzzy Logic? He clearly must play a lot of 1 minute chess. He just moves almost instantaneously every move. I really prefer to think a little bit. Of course, I got to do the commentating. But he should challenge me for like 5+3. I mean, because he clearly doesn't like to use his time. All right, knight c5. Rook d5. There's also queen c5. Suicide. I mean, maybe I'm better off playing f4. There's certain risks involved in that as well. Oh, man. I guess I have to go here. Nils is playing a tournament game tonight. I used to get incredibly nervous when I first started. I remember like my first tournament. He's like finding the best move instantaneously, but I told him, I think. All right. I lost a pawn here. Good. See, he doesn't even win a pawn. He's just too busy moving instantaneously to think about like things like winning a pawn. I mean, come on, dude. Slow down and take your time. Like, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, queen takes e5, and you win a pawn. Ponda. This is inexcusable. I guess I should play knight d4 first. Black is only slightly better. The time control is 60-60, so not that much time to walk around. Absolutely not. That's pretty fast. When Nils, when you're saying 60+60, you're talking about both sides have 60 seconds. I mean 60 seconds. Both sides have 60 minutes for the game. Is that what we're talking about here? I mean, this guy is awfully strong. What's happening here? I can shift the d-file. Everything I don't like for white. I'm just going to lose, it looks like. Who is Fuzzy Logic? Really, really strong. We're in bad shape here. Alright. I mean, I'll take a draw. It's a clear advantage to black. Let's check this game. I'm lucky to get a draw here. Black played perfectly. Maybe I did too. I doubt it. 60-second increment was a typo. 30-second increment. So neither side played perfectly here. I thought he was impressive, Fuzzy Logic. For his rating. It was a really good game. Okay, let's go on. Bob has challenged me. We lost some challenger here. 60 plus 30. Okay, so the standard 60-minute FIDE time control. Mills. Well, I play a little wildly there, but I don't expect my opponents to be that good when they're like 1700 on lichess. I was groveling for a draw. Clearly worse. I'm happy to take a draw there. Minus 0.8 or something for white at the final position. I just have a double pawn with no compensation. I'm happy to take a draw there. So Percy Hepworth, Clash Kid, Nils. Just reminding you guys, particularly Nils says he can't play, but reminding you guys who might be able to come on Wednesday. Our next, another Slav. Our next, let's say European time stream will be 11:15. And 11 a.m. start time, 11:15 a.m. start time Eastern time here on Wednesday. Some new concept. We're going to do a second simul. Pick up some new viewers. Is JCS not here today? I didn't see him in the stream. Am I alone in moderating the chat today? Bob's already making bad, naughty commentary. Sexual innuendos and whatnot. We have to keep you under control, Bob. There's no moderator except for me in the house today. So, behave yourself. Now we're playing Bob now. He played d takes c4, which is an atrocious move. Bob losing focus. Queen takes b7, and when we snap a lot of pawns. Not just one, but multi pawns. You will moderate yourself. Alright. No, there's no reason to give up this pawn here. He resigned. Well, it's a little crazy to resign. But he blundered with this move, bishop takes f3, actually. I could consider taking on b7. There's only one game where this has actually been played. Finest took on b7. Alyosha's. He's a huge theoretical player, Kavinus. He has his own variation, the Sicilian. The Lithuanian, I think. Or no, is he Latvian? Is Kavinus Lithuanian or Latvian? Can somebody check that for me? But anyway, queen takes b7 was played. You can actually do that. Just take on b7 right away. Alright, guys. Let's get some more challenges out there. Bob, are you still out in California? Every time I go on vacation, I come back. Oh, you're back. You're very, very weak at chess. Chess is my vacation, Bob. That'll be my new quote. Alright, if you guys don't challenge me, I'm going to have to... Actually, Morwa was here, and then he left. If you guys don't challenge me, I'm gonna have to. He's just being blatant. No innuendo of off. True, Percy. True. I tried to play it down as innuendo, but I mean, I'm really sweeping it under the rug. Bob just says openly grotesque things. No, just kidding. He's not that bad today. Alright, we've got a challenge from Nils now. Guys, for the next 2 hours, I'm playing Blitz and Rapid Chess, 5-3 through 7+3. I've had a very uninspiring draw, and now a very short victory where I didn't even play Aquinas' Queen takes b7 because I'm not fully focused yet. Self-gratification. Well, a lot of things are self-gratification. Eating ice cream is self-gratification. Alright, e4, e5. Knight f3. It's not Weird Wednesday. I'm going to try to play kind of standard stuff. Let's see what Nils has in the e4, e5. Warm up is a good idea. Okay, knight f6. We could have an open Roy Lopez, perhaps. No. So what do you have in mind? You want to play... You just announced my stream. On the Discord? Guys, Discord channel, Pub Sladgie. So I'm going to do Wednesday secondary simul. European simul. Just so that Nils won't play. We'll call it the Nils simul. The Nils Memorial. b5 in honor of the absent Nils. Bishop b3, d6. So you're not going to play the Marshall. All right. I'm always fearing the Marshall. Whatever. Everybody plays the Chigorin these days. In the 90s, it was like that move, or Bishop b7. No, he's not playing the Chigorin. Chigorin. No Nils Simo. You thought Steinitz lived in the Austro-Hungarian Empire? What are you guys talking about with Steinitz? Is there a debate about Wilhelm? Everything great is from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Clash Kid. Alright. I have to admit my Breyer theory is a little bit non-existent. This is another position that's really probably not ideal for tanking in 5+3. Bohemia. Well, you know, you can't really trust Wikipedia for everything. You should find out which city Steinitz was born in. But I guess the Czech, you know, parts of what is today Czechia, right, were part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Reti Ricard, you know, has a Hungarian name, but he was Czech. No, I mean, the parts of... I don't know how it worked, though. I think that parts of what is today's Czech Republic / Czechia were in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. You know, it's all very complicated. to read more Bram Stoker. I don't know, like how... Alright, we're going to go with b3 on the queen side. Do you read Masters of the Chessboard by Ray T? No. No, I don't know. That book I never even owned, I don't think. I don't think that Ray T was like a particularly great player, you know? Certain classic players like Ray T, Tarash didn't really do it for me. I mean, you only have so much time to study. You can't study everything. So he was born in Prague. But again, that's an interesting question. Was Prague considered part of the Habsburg monarchy? You know, I guess it's like historical questions. Alright, so I don't know these lines well enough. Nobody plays in Blitz usually the Breyer or the Pez, so I have very little chance to practice such positions. Very close position to play in a fast time control. I mean, to play it well is like impossible, I think. Practically impossible. The political boundaries aren't vague, Bob, but no one here is enough of an expert to know. I'm sure the political boundaries weren't vague, just that we don't know. And also depends on exactly what time period you're talking about, because I'm sure it all was changing. Alright, anyway. Yeah, I mean, you take some countries, like constantly were changing hands. And areas and regions. Europe has a very complicated history. It seems like American history is very easy, you know, very straightforward. We kicked out the Native Americans and took over. You know, it's nothing real complicated about it. And it's basically a short period of time, you know, our history here in North America, but in Europe it's a very complicated. Yeah. If I had another lifetime, maybe I would study history. Alright, what are we doing here? So close, this position, man. It's so hard. So hard to play this. Gosh. I'm going to pretend I'm playing the King's Indian with the white pieces now, and that's about all I can do. The only thing I know how to play. Interesting. Should I take? Is he sacking a pawn with this move, or just... He might be playing quite riskfully by playing c4, right? Which side of the board is my side of the board? Which side of the board is your side of the board? I'm not really sure. Where do we draw? This is like... This is similar to our questions about European territorial history. I'm also quite unsure about whose territory is whose territory in this game, and whose territory is the other guy's territory. A little like European geography. Spectacular Camel, thank you for the donation. Astrobate with 2. Man, this move I almost forgot. I was trying to make progress on the king side when he distracted me with this queen side action. Yeah, I said I was playing the white side of the King's Indian. Because then I feel like I know what I'm doing. Don't even try to sacrifice a piece on d5, because I know Oleg Romanishin, and I know he would probably try to do something like that. Yeah, this is awkward. Romanician. They will bring special players. Bishop c8 was a good move, I guess. Keeping me busy. Percy Hempler said, I'm better after work, but I'll give it a go. We've got 3 challenges. Bishop d7. Alright. Battered. Like English fish and chips. Walking up to my death. I'm just going to self-immolate my king here. Astrobate, that's like that Canadian library that's like half in the United States and half in Canada or something. Alright, King G2. Nils is getting timed out. Space advantage everywhere. What's that move 11? The Chessmaster reference? Oh no. Did I say something like that? Did I say something cheesy? It's a good King's Indian. Turkey in the kitchen. They always make jokes about, are you Hungary? You know. This is horrible. It's horrible. What a stupid joke. And then I make this joke and instantly, like, my stomach hurts. Come on now. Can Nils hold it together against the pawn? The pawn Tetris. My kingside pawn Tetris. The tentacles. Knight d7. I guess I don't have to play bishop c1. Pawn diamond. Okay, he's not threatening anything. This morning I had the sudden inspiration to write like a sci-fi horror book, novel. Is that weird? Oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You're not going over there. In fact, he accidentally like forced me to make the move I wanted to make anyway. Connecting my rooks. Accidental. Accidental death. Maybe just go back. That pawn was hanging. Oh, I don't care about that. That's on the other side. He's doing a good job defending this. Stop defending so well. Good move. Not to diss Nils, but I don't really think of him as a defensive style player, which isn't necessarily an insult, but alright, we're going to sack the exchange finally. This is an accident waiting to happen. It's probably an accident. Oh, d6 is hanging. That's pivotal. We need that. I'll just borrow that. Because without that, I don't have anything. Oh. Final blunder. Alright, that's the kind of game you get when you play the Brayer King, what is it? King's Indian? Roy Lopez. That's not fun in 5+3. That's like having your teeth removed. It's about as fun as having your teeth removed. D6 was hanging for 3 times. Well, once I saw it, I think. Anyway, the thing Chessmaster used to say, yeah, they say it says a lot of stupid things. What's the youngest age you date at this point? Okay, Bob. Bob. What am I going to do with you? There's no other moderator in the house today, and he's asking me questions like this. Just setting me up for a fall. Alright. I will take a challenge here from our subscribers. Artie Fufkin, Zen Chess, Clash Kid. That's annoying for both sides, that kind of position, Nils. Not meant to be played in 5-minute chess. That would be my comment on it. Whatever you think, Bob. Just fantasize away. Alright, e4, c5. The Art of Subtle Trolling by Bob Sacamano. e4, c5. Trolling for beginners. Dude, you should write like the Idiot's Guide to Trolling. That'd be awesome. e4, c5. Move 11 just donated 500 bits, taking the lead for the week. Move 11, thank you. But I think you're a skillful troll. Most trolls are just too primitive. Okay, I'm just complaining about closed position. Too much closed position makes Jack a dull boy. That's what I think. It also makes Caruana draw every game. It depends on our opponent, though. People who are particularly bad at strategic chess, I'll play bishop b5. I don't have enough of a read on Artie Fufkin, though, to really classify him as a player. You'd think having played someone like 12 games or 15, whatever, I would have a definite, opinion about someone, but I don't think that's very many, actually. Alright, we've got a 500-bit donation from Move 11, 100 from Merle Dixon, spectacular account on Asterbate today. Thank you guys, most importantly, for subscribing to the stream. We've got the Kalashnikov, maybe, or maybe the Lowenthal with A6. Good luck, Move 11. Phil McCracken. Was that a troll to make people check you're following to find? A troll to make people check you're following. Maybe. Conspiracy theories. Christmas is coming. Zen Chess. Nils, was that a cheer? Was that bits? What did Nils do? I'm not sure what Zen Chess was talking about. Do we see something? Was there some sort of Streamlabs donation? That was Move 11. They sent friend requests and food. Usually I play c4, though I never really like these lines. I think maybe it's better to play knight to c3 if you don't like the Marazzi type of structure, obviously. But this is the only line I really know. Lowenthal is not a reliable system. But actually, Berta, that's Ulf Anderson's old ICC handle, he kind of, really promoted Queen e7 in the Lowenthal. And if you look at it with the computer, actually, Anderson's Queen e7 is better than the classical Lowenthal with like Queen f6. So years ago, I taught this kid who was like an expert, became a master, and not because of me, I only worked with him a little bit, but he used to play the Lowenthal, and he actually did fairly okay with it, because people just don't bother to study how to play. It's one of those openings that objectively isn't good, but no one bothers to really learn the proper refutation. So you could get away with playing it, to a pretty broad degree. Lowenthal, that is like a6 instead of d6, allowing knight d6 check. And Anderson would play queen e7, Ulf. Obviously not Adolf, but that's fairly solid. One of your favorites recently is the Latvian from Crichton. Well, that's really getting to be, really unsound. Latvian's pretty unsound. The Lowenthal is, at least you're not sacrificing material. You're just like a little bit strategically worse. But Ulf Anderson would just get these endgames where he was just a tiny bit worse, and it was no problem. He's really good at that. Yeah, good blitz opening, for example, the Lowenthal. But you definitely wouldn't want to get a reputation for playing that opening constantly, because people would look it up and study it. So, in these positions with the pawn on e5, isn't bishop g5, bishop takes f6, and knight d5 the right plan? Well, there might be tactics with knight takes e4, first of all. Generally, I'm always afraid to play bishop g5 when there's an acerbate, check Benoni type of lineup there. And I don't want to trade my... In the Sveshnikov, bishop g5 is totally normal, Clash Kid, but the Kalashnikov is a little bit different. I don't think that bishop g5 is commonly played. In fact, Black's usually like going out of his way to put his bishop on g5 and trade it off. But Artie Fuff can put his knight on f6 pretty early, so... Yeah, I mean, here, in fact, I think that Artie Fufkin's knight f6 raises interesting questions. That's not probably the main move. I think they're supposed to play more commonly like bishop e7 and bishop g5 is even a line. But I'm not real sure about this at all, to be perfectly honest. Another opening like the Breyer or Lopez we had, which I face very, very rarely with white. So I don't know too well what the theory is here. Yeah, I mean, definitely in the Sveshnikov Clash Kid. Less common in the Kalashnikov, but again, it's not that common for black to put the knight on f6, I guess. Or maybe it is, I don't know. I don't know the white side of the Kalashnikov as well as I should, obviously. And that looks like a good move, though. There's some scary lines here, like knight d2, b5. No, I'm not answering the phone, telemarketer. You're not going to trick me again. It was really good lately. Amy hasn't had too many messages on my mobile phone, and the telemarketing totally went to an almost total stop. And the landline, yeah, they just hung up. They're like, oh, bummer. They waited for the answer machine to pick up, then they just hung up. Artie Fufkin. Playing creatively here. Artie's scary. Like, sometimes he plays like a genius. And sometimes he just makes like one move blunders. It's another game where he's going to be scary. You forgot about Amy. Yeah. Too much information on poor Amy. I even like saw her real name from some of these scam voice messages. It's nice to give out your family name to strangers who got your cell phone. If I was like a stalker, I could look her up or something. Not a good thing. But queen takes d3. It's a good thing Bob didn't get her, cell phone, for example. But now knight to g4. Yeah, we were waiting for that a long time ago. It is late. It's a story I didn't finish last week about the guy who said it is late to my friend who was offering a draw when he was like this guy offered him a draw, a much lower rated player offered him a draw when he was like slightly better, but my friend insisted on playing for a win because the rating difference was so high. And then when my friend was totally lost, he offered a draw, but the dude was like, "It is late." It was really it's bad to laugh at your friends, but it was kind of funny the way the guy said it. You just broke up with your girlfriend, so I have too many Amy's as it is. Uh-oh. Alright, so he goes for the knight g4 and then takes on e3. We could take with the queen, but bishop g5 would trade all these pieces and stuff. Impressed by Artie Fufkin's play. So far, so good for black here. He's playing like a champion, I would say. My last move is really sketchy. Asking for trouble. Asker bait. Queen b6 bearing down. Artie Fufkin playing the Kalashnikov like a master. Bob, I didn't think you were... Oh, somebody's daughter. Okay. Yeah, I'm old enough to be her dad. That's good. Bob, don't talk about this kind of stuff, man. You're disturbing me. I don't want to know about... I don't want to... Too much information, Bob. Alright, h3. Too much information. There's a new commercial about that on the radio, I heard. Knight to d5. Maybe Artie Fufkin's gonna crack? Or in English, as they say, he's starting to creak. Cracking and creaking are different. I would say cracking. But Hebby says creak. He's starting to creak. You're not creaking enough here. I want Artie Fufkin to creak a little bit more. Everybody's going to be somebody's daughter, right? Unless you were born in an alien spaceship or something. Okay, Queen c5. We got to get the king out of here. Just h1. Tradition. I could go to h2, but let's go with the traditional. b5. Artie. Is Artie really strong, or is it just my imagination? How do I break through here? How strong is Artie Fufkin? He's 1600, but he's playing this Kalashnikov. He's like 1400 in Blitz. Playing the Kalashnikov like a murderer. Man, dude. Get off me. I'm like paralyzed. You feel tactics here? I wish I felt some tactics, man. I don't feel any tactics. There's some vague hope chess type of tactics here. But no real spider sense type of stuff. Just the hope chess tactics. Ooh, I have a check. So far, masterful game by black, I think. I say that about everybody. Everybody plays like a master. Now they're trolling Bob. Alright. Unclear. Knights versus bishops. I would say it's balanced. You know, probably about equal. this position. I'm not sure that either side has made any significant mistakes here. I might have... What's he trying to do? I was thinking of h3 now. Maybe we actually have something? h3. g3. We might actually have something. Kicking the bishop off the diagonal. And Artie might finally succumb. But he's got this in-between move, intermezzo. Not enough, though. Maybe he has bishop f6, sorry. Bishop f6. Hanging tough. Do I have to grind him in the endgame? Can grind him in the endgame. He's really hung tough here. Amazing stuff. Absolutely masterful. Got an exchange sack. It looks a little speculative to me. Though sometimes you have to sack for the enemy's defensive piece to bring him down. But it's not my first option. I'd rather improve my position. He's rather tied up now. Eventually he just hung a piece. Yeah. That's it. That was a really good game by Black until this final drop of a piece here. Is it just me or is this a really good game? Looks like Black played well. I probably left book first. Let's see. I'm curious. Who left theory first? A6, surprisingly rare here for Black. Surprisingly rare. And now bishop e7, but knight f6 apparently. There's not many games already with a6. Look how few games there are. That's amazing. I mean, so we got a Tamir Nabati against Dimitrov from 2010. A couple random games. Yeah, knight a3. I forgot I'm supposed to play knight a3. That's probably the best setup. Knight a3, knight c2, and then it's been such a while since I played this. You know, go through knight a3. You know, knight a3, knight c2, and knight e3. Actually. Alright guys, let's play another game. I'm going to close down this engine because it's killing me. Uh-oh, Zen Chess, Clash Kid. Those guys are really tough. And then Cash Maui. We got Prider. So I'm taking subscribers first. This guy's got a new account, Prider. I'm not going to take challenges from people who have like under 100 games. Or significantly under 100 games. I don't think Rook F6 would have been that good. Right, I didn't want to sacrifice unless it's absolutely necessary. My strategic advantage is pretty strong there. So I don't think I should take unnecessary risks. I have a tendency to kind of be fancy sometimes when I'm playing on stream. Prider said I had a problem with my board yesterday. There were MP pieces in 3 games. What does that mean? I'm sorry, I'm sort of not sure. NP? You better ask an administrator. This sounds like a kind of technical lichess question. Control and R. Yeah, so I don't take anybody who's not got like an established account here for the challenges. I played knight a4. It's like a joke move. I'm not going to do that today. Let's just play kind of standard stuff. I'm new to chess. Please elaborate. There were NP pieces. I'm not sure what NP pieces mean. Pisces. No pieces in 3 games? I think he's trying to say no pieces in 3 games. He's new to... Yeah, I'm new here. You're new here. Don't let Bob troll you. JFC trolling again? JFC. JCS. Okay, Zen Chess. Solid system. I had a game with Alexander Ivanov that was a quick draw, I remember. But I think Alex played like C5 or something instead of B6. I'm pretty sure that was our game years ago. C5, A3, Bishop A5. G3 and offer to draw or something. I think I just offered to draw in like 8 moves, and Ivanov took it. It's a really, really solid system that Zen Chess is playing. Kind of Bogo Indian, like a Neo-Bogo Indian. I never really liked this. Prider, if the board came up with no pieces on it, you enabled some kind of like blindfold mode on lichess, it sounds like. Seriously. That's what it sounds like. I'm not that good, you know, in terms of technical aspects of lichess or anything actually. I can't even program my VCR. All right. That's funny. I mean, when I was like 8 years old, I could program the VCR, and now I can't. It's kind of scary. All right, what's a VCR? Since chess whatever stole the arena idea from lichess. That's disgusting. Perpetual chalemate. Chess. Perpetual chalemate. Stalemate. 100. Happy International Horse Day. Wow. Perpetual stalemate. Thank you. I am a horse. Sparkle horse. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like a valley girl. All right. D4. Oh man, there was this. I had to make a doctor's appointment for my mom today. She's in rehab for a fall. And I called the doctor's office, and there was this appointment secretary who was so ditzy. It was really hard to even talk to them. All right. Knight on BD7. We're going to go with the center. Center. Blindfold. Oh yeah, blindfold. Yeah, that's the idea. You had a dream that I got into a verbal spat. I had a dream. Whoa, I had a crazy dream last night. Wait a minute. I can't remember now. Damn. I think I had a kind of cool dream last night. Of course, I don't remember. But it did inspire me to write a horror sci-fi fiction novel. So we'll see if it actually materializes. We'll see if it materializes. If I can actually, because I'm usually too lazy to actually start projects. But I'd like to write something outside of chess. It's not chess related, not a chess related project, but something else. So, knight h4 to the side of the board. Merle Dixon, thank you for the donation. So c5 could come into play. I mean, that's why knight d4 doesn't seem that good. Knight h4 is on the side of the board. It also might not get active. I need to use my f-pawn here. Knight e1 just staying back. This is the decision time. Okay, whatever. You had a psychic experience recently. Well, yesterday someone asked me, I've never had a sort of, any kind of, you know, unexplained experience like seeing a UFO or a ghost or anything like that. But I do enjoy horror sci-fi books, and obviously Ancient Aliens we joke about all the time here on the stream. All mine are psychotic experiences. The psychologist acerbate. You have a fear of psychologists. Nils says, but it's been a while since I got crushed this badly. The Crow's Roy is difficult. Uh-oh, he's letting me play knight f5. Wow. He's like, please put your knight on f5. That wasn't what I expected. Expectiated. I think Zen chess may have made a critical error. Why take back on c3 with the pawn? They're both possible, Mozart, but I'm playing for. We are playing for classic central pawn majority, classic stuff. So maybe Zen chess is just gonna call my bluff here. This is really classic stuff. Queen d2. In your face. f3 is not ridiculous. It's a little slow though. But I need to secure the center. No, Mozart, it's a matter of taste. It really is. I mean, I think that queen takes is equally good. It's a different kind of game. It really depends on your style. Queen takes is like a straight up sort of classic Queen's Indian style move. And with the way I'm playing it, it's more like a kind of closed English. It really depends on your personal tastes. That's why chess is great, right? I mean, different aspects of the game appeal to different people. There's different ways to play, even in the same position. I'm really surprised by Zen chess. So he's just opening up my knight to a good square, opening up the F file. It's all about him. Just thinking about what he can do. He's not thinking about what my pieces can do. Think about what you can do for your country. About what you can do for your position. F3, I feel like this move only title players will play. Well, if you think about it, Clash Kid, I mean, you're a pretty good strategic player. There aren't a lot of moves you can do that can really strengthen your center there. So, what a battle. Bishop h3, king h8 is the problem. This is just going to get crazy. I feel like I have to develop my pieces. This wasn't my original plan, and it looks a little artificial to like shield my d-pawn frontally by blocking with a piece. But we've got the lineup. There's got to be some good stuff here. It's like a Nimzo. It really, really is. A lot like a Nimzo. I had no intention of taking on c5. Very likely I'm missing stuff, but I'm too short on time. Man, this is like a tactical nightmare. Knight takes g7. The Grinch that stole my g-pawn. Damn, we gotta play this move. Oh no. Oh no. I gotta do this. Coming to get you. No, I like the strong center, and I've always liked to play the closed English. Again, strategic strategy, like Bugs Bunny used to say. Nothing like a good Bugs Bunny cartoon. Strategy. Knight takes g7. Bishop takes d3. Knight takes e6. Bishop takes c2, knight takes d8. Yeah, that's actually good enough. I could just take on e6. You take my queen, I take your rook. Then I take your piece, and you're down a rook, right? I think Zinchess had the same hallucination I did for a while. This can't be okay for black. Strategiatic rook loss. He has slightly less rooks than me. That is a problem. Zenchess a little rusty. Alright, we've got Clash Kid, another tough one. Perry Ode, another tough player. Move 11. Oh my god, they're lining up. Alright guys, we've got an hour left. So Clash Kid, Cashman, Perry Ode. Move 11. Alright, let's just play these games. I don't think we're going to have time for more than that, though. So don't anyone else challenge unless there's a cancellation in the lineup. It's going to be some good games. There are more active NFL players than GMs in the world. That's scary. Alright. I wouldn't have thought that. There was no defense. Absolutely not. Certainly not. Okay, let's try something different. Guys, thanks for joining me for my stream. Tomorrow we have Blitz Arena we host at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night. The Sparkle Horse Blitz Arena, it'll be 5+2, casual here, 4:30. Join us for that. And Wednesday I'm going to implement a simul. Implement. The implements of torture. I'm going to implement a simul on... We have themes like crucifixion going on in the chat room there, so I figured I'd mention torture just to be thematic, but yeah, the wonders of the symmetrical Grunfeld. I'm getting a lot of close games, and actually it was, I think, Morales who came, like, when was it? A couple weeks ago, and he like accused me of loving closed positions. Maybe I secretly love closed positions, but it's like, here we go with the torture again. It's sort of like a masochistic thing, you know. It's hard to play closed positions. I don't know. I feel like I'm making myself suffer playing these type of positions. But I guess maybe secretly I enjoy the closed positions. But normally I need to have more time to play these type of lock structures without a lot of open lines. The Fianchetto Grunfeld is particularly really tough. I'm not going to do Bible interpretation, Bob. Not my thing, man. You'll just have to wait for my horror sci-fi novel to come out. Wonder how long it'll take me to write a book. Bishop e3 exclam. Wow. That move is definitely a move you play later, but I've never seen it played right away. Oh, JFC. Closely related to KFC. I didn't even understand what JFC was at first. It's like MAGA. Why do we have to turn everything into initials? The POTUS. Just say the word. Alright. In college, I usually budget an hour per page. You did a lot of writing in college, Bob? Seriously? How many books have we been recorded in? Oh no, what is this? This is some sort of... Well, dude, I don't know, Clash Kid. I mean, I know knight g4 is a known line. Like, this is like a liquidating line that someone else played against me a while back. Do you guys remember Skaveningen? By the way, we had a guest on one of our streams who was pretty strong. Has anyone here been watching my stream long enough to remember the Polish Master Strength player who I played a lot named Skaveningen? And there was a stream like a week or two ago where there was a strong player, and I was like saying, "Oh, this reminds me of someone." And I think it might have been that guy, the Skaveningen guy, who used to play in my stream a lot. It reminded me of him. What's up with this move? No one ever had the audacity to play this against me. I know nothing about this. Now I have to like spend 2 minutes to figure it out. Guys, we had a great game in the Simul, by the way, on Sunday, where I played Morales and I played the Alyokhin's defense, and I spent like 10 minutes thinking on one move in the opening, and it was actually the right move. I was so proud of that game. I played 2 good games on 2 really good games on Sunday Simul against Candela, introducing a novelty in the Vienna game with black, and against Morales, I think, defending that Alyokhin's defense correctly, although I didn't win. I'm going to teach me how to, you got to teach me how to pronounce Skaveningen. Well, most people say Scheveningen, or Scheveningen, okay? So, Nils, this is the way I used to say it, like, Scheveningen, That's how, like, the standard American would probably say it. I try to say it like the Swedish chef on the Muppets, basically. This is lame. This gotta be lame. The easy answer is never the solution. Now he'll just play symmetrically. I might have had a game like that. Why don't you try knight takes c3, Clash Kid? That looks like the right move. T Dark was suggesting knight takes e4. Obviously, that's another major candidate move. However, in that line, I think like he could really continue the symmetry. Knight takes e4, knight takes e5 seems really weird. The CH pronunciation guarantees throat cancer. Alright, what do I do? Maybe move 11 suggestion of bishop e3 starts to crop up. The f3 move. That's lame. And takes on e4 was my original plan. Somehow, it feels like black has compensation. Knight takes e4, d takes e4, bishop takes e4, bishop takes d4, bishop takes c6, rook b8. I mean, black has to have compensation. Is there anything better I can do here? Just stop playing this stupid variation for white. God, I hate the Fianchetto Grunfeld. Win a war. Wiener. Ben is one of those players who became a GM without ever playing a tournament outside of the United States. He doesn't know anything about pronouncing things, probably. It's not true. I think in like 1993, Ben once went to like Gosdal or something. It's not surprising if he doesn't know how to pronounce stuff. Not to, completely diss him, but honestly, he's like one of the least traveled grandmasters in the world, probably. As far as like outside of the United States. He knows. He probably played in one tournament outside the United States in 1993. So I wouldn't really count on him to know a lot of pronunciations. He's a world traveler. That's why he was the strongest IM in the world for so long. Failure to play in Grandmaster Norm tournaments. Take rook d1 just to ask for trouble. Okay, I want to win this pawn before it's too late. Because I'm a bloody materialist. Am I stronger than Ben? I don't think I could ever claim to be stronger than Ben under any circumstances. I mean, who knows? Like, I could be, but to my knowledge, I'm not. Though I am younger, that gives me a plus. But he's always been higher rated than me, so I don't think I'd have any claim to that. Nope. But my age could work in my favor. There was a point where I was probably, about the same strength as Ben. When I reached my peak, I would say we were comparable. But because I took so much time off playing when I was playing poker, I really think that I lost a lot of ground. I probably caught up to Feingold strength-wise at my peak. But subsequently, I didn't play enough. So he's probably still stronger than me. He is a grandmaster too, which I'm not. So, and higher rated. But I would argue that at my peak, I probably equaled him. Rook takes a8. Compensation station. Bishop e3 looks like a cool move. I dare you to take it. Giving the pawn back seems almost... And I guess I could have played bishop g5. I like Ben. I mean, I don't... some people are complaining about him eating on his stream. That does sound kind of gross, but... And he's also done other controversial stuff. But he's always been cool with me. I can only judge people by my... by my own experiences. I hope I never get so good at chess that I can only decline with age. That's true. That's a good philosophy there, Bob. Well, I'm afraid I've already achieved that. I've already achieved being able to get worse with age. Opponent here. It's doing like the Nefedov. Clash kid with the Nefedov. Offering a draw in a slightly worse position. No. We're going to play for a win here. This is like Magnus Carlsen torture style. I'm not sure about my last move, but I like it. I'm playing for a win here. Oh, this looks like something out of like Mihai Suba's like book on chess strategy. There's a lot of players who would live to play this position with white. Not necessarily me, but it looks kind of torturous for black. Really no risks. No risks losing. No risks. No serious risk of losing here. Karpov torture style. Exactly. Spectacular Camel. Totally Karpov torture style. This is like dynamic chess strategy. Suba had this one game where it was like he reached this end game. He was like, and this was the position I was playing for. I mean, if you play like the English opening like Mihai, I mean, you can't expect to get like a clear advantage. This is like massive advantage. The biggest advantage you could ever possibly hope for. Better everything. Better space, better rook, better king. Somewhere on my bookshelf I have Capablanca's Greatest Endgames. Capablanca's Best Chess Endgames by Dover and Chernev. You remember Dover. Alright. They used to sell chess books really cheap, Dover Publishing, but a lot of these books are being repackaged by like Batsford, which is just kind of gross. Batsford getting the rights to them and then repackaging them and selling them like for exorbitant prices in bookstores. I think it's sort of disgusting. Books that were affordable. Alright, King G7. Both sides improving their king. Okay, H6 is double-edged. It does stop G5. I mean, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have played G5 when I had the chance. We shall see. But I would never agree to a draw in a position where I have torture chances. The powers of eBay. The powers that granted by eBay. The Dover are the best. I used to get all of them, at old bookstores, and just online. Who cares if it's like descriptive notation? I mean, so you occasionally make like a mistake. H4 or H3? Maybe I'll play H3. Because if I play H4, he plays H5. Then my pawn becomes a target on H4. Truthfully, Clash Kid is probably, you know, if he plays perfectly, this is some kind of draw. Playing perfectly is difficult to do when you have no time. Alternative rule of thumb is to agree to draw so you get your backside home and do all chores for Monday. Ben's trolling. Elo is almost 3,000. You're talking about what, Feingold is trolling Elo? Yeah, I never watched the stream, so I'm not sure, but I don't have time to watch anybody's stream. I mean, it's not like about not liking them or something. I had barely time to do my own stuff. So now where are we at? Where are we at? Can I make progress here? Progress. A4 is interesting. I'm not saying this is a winning position for white. I'm just playing because I'm better. Bishop d4, interesting concept. Still a very interesting concept. But now he's trying to set up a5 or something. But objectively, I mean, he'll end up with another pawn on the dark squares if he does that. Really good D. I'm not making progress. Probably just made negative progress. King f3, not a great move. Ah, he missed the move there. Wow, tragically losing. He missed rook e4 just drawing. Persistence pays off. So he missed the clear draw, rook e4. He defended really pretty well, but I think I might have had better chances to win if I had played it correctly myself. Good game, Clash Kid. Thanks for the fight. Guys, we have 35 minutes left. 35, 40 minutes. Gambling move with f5 check. He missed rook e4. Well, I mean, I've got a5, but he's taking my h-pawn, so he'll have enough counterplay then. He's taking my h-pawn, T-dark. I mean, then he'll just get rook a4 and get behind. It looks like it's clearly okay for black. Move 11, challenging. I think I was on the verge of winning in the first place when I didn't quite play it as well as I could. Okay, so move 11 seems like he's pretty solid. We've seen a lot of Catalans. He submitted a Catalan. So I'm not going to play the Catalan against... Everybody plays the Catalan against move 11. But what about just normal Queen's Gambit of some sort? Normal. Normal everyday Queen's Gambit. Oh no. The Vienna variation. I'm not so well prepared for this. I had a game where I messed up against JCS 2 weeks ago, and I just, like, I had a terrible game. I guess we'll try to play it correctly this time. I honestly don't have enough against the Vienna variation. For those of you that don't know, I am actually a Hungarian resident legally. I'm in the United States now, but I'm a U.S. citizen, but Hungarian resident. But amongst my Hungarian chess player associates, I've faced the Hungarian Grandmaster Zoltán Ribli a couple times, and Ribli is actually an authority on this for black. I saw he was really doing some deep analysis, 30 move variations in this line. Bishop b4 and right, so I have to play e4. You know, e3 may be playable too. What exactly does the Catalan do? It puts the bishop on g2. Instead of playing e3 or e4, you play g3. Is this a joke? The Catalan doesn't lead to symmetrical position. Well, I mean, the Queen's Gambit doesn't lead to a symmetrical position. There's a lot of things that don't lead to symmetrical positions. You know, symmetrical is symmetrical, but you don't have to have a symmetrical structure in the Queen's Gambit. You can play the exchange variation. That's not symmetrical. I mean, there's a lot of options. The Catalan's a good opening. It leads to a safe king side. It's very trendy at the moment. Kramnik particularly did a lot with the Catalan to promote it in recent years. Alright, so against JCS, I made some kind of ridiculous mistake where I messed up the move order. No Catalan. Oh no, the Vienna variation. I forgot that move 11 started playing the Vienna variation. I was thinking before he was playing something more solid like the Tartikover, and I was okay with that, but the Vienna variation requires immense theoretical preparation for white, which I don't have because I haven't studied with Grandmaster Zoltan Ribley. Although I faced him, I never actually took lessons with him. Maybe I should have. Renowned theoretician. Okay, bishop takes c4, c takes d4 now. So knight takes d4. It's all standard stuff. And here's where I made some mistake. Maybe the thing was that actually JCS played queen a5 against me, which is less common. This is like the main line that move 11 is playing here, which like doesn't give white any options. I mean, you have to take back. You can't mess this up, you know, because the only way to do it is to recapture. So this is kind of like the starting position for the whole variation. There's knight b5, bishop b5, and there might be even other lines. Move 11 knows all of my secrets. What are you supposed to do to get an edge in these positions? Don't ask me. This is my game with Christian Sabo. Sabo Christian. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. Move 11 knows everything. This is actually... I'm not sure this is enough for white. This endgame. Two bishops and your chicks for free. Yeah, alright. This is coming with a threat. It's been a long time. It was like 10 years ago when I played with Sabo Christian. The last time I looked at this position. It's, according to the computer, black's okay. And there's only been like a couple games. But unfortunately, I haven't looked at anything else lately. Yeah, it looks good on the surface. That's why I went into this against Sabo, but Sabo Christian like had a really good another Hungarian trainer who's also a massive theoretician, Lukács Péter, who's written like hundreds of articles for New in Chess. And Lukács trained him, and they must have maybe even had a connection to Ribley. I don't know, but this is actually okay for black, surprisingly. I thought the same thing. It looks good. You know, it looks good for white. I got the bishop pair. You know, the queen side majority. My king could get... You know, visually it looks good. Black has no pieces developed. But I don't remember exactly what happened. Somehow Christian, like, equalized fairly easily against me. Did you know Lajos Portish? Well, he's still, you know, he's still alive, hopefully. A friend of mine visited with him recently. Yeah, Portish is a really, really nice guy. I had a great couple of conversations with him years ago. And a really interesting person, very, very normal, very modest, very intelligent. He has interest in music. He sings. He's a just fantastic person. Great stories. He told me the story about how they had a tournament in San Antonio in the 70s, like in 1972, you know, when Fischer quit chess. Fischer disappeared from the chess world. And Lajos told me that he was the only one at that tournament in San Antonio in 1972 who saw Fischer there. Like, Fischer went to San Antonio. He couldn't stay away. So Lajos told me that Bobby actually, like in disguise, went to the tournament in San Antonio in 1972, and only only Lajos actually recognized him in his disguise or whatever. It's got a lot of really interesting stories. But of course, a lot of the Hungarians are, you know, well versed with Bobby Fischer because he was living in Budapest for a long time. I mean, I was actually there in 97, 98 when Fischer was around, but I didn't actually see him myself. Okay, so knight c6. That's probably the right move. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember what Christian played too long ago. I could castle, no? Castle, knight takes b4, bishop e7, knight c2. No, I could castle here. Castlate. Acerbate. There is a small issue of my knight, yeah. My other knight getting... There is the small issue of my knight getting trapped. I'm trying to say bishop on g5. Theoretically getting trapped. Is it like castles knight d4 and black has compensation for the sacrificed pawn or something like that? Been so long since I looked at this. It might literally be castles knight d4. I don't remember what I played in this position. Yeah, Fischer was in Budapest for years. In between his match with Spassky, match number 2, and eventually when he went to Japan, he was in Budapest for years and years. I have another funny Fischer story. We were actually in Budapest at the same time, and he called my friend Gerardo Barbera while I was there. This was like in 1998. I think it was in 98. And while I was at Gerardo's house, Gerardo's wife was like, the phone rang, and then Gerardo's wife was like, shh, be quiet, be quiet. We're like, what's going on? Why do we have to be quiet? She's like, don't speak anything in English. And we were just sitting there like, what are you talking about? And no, so we had no idea. My friend and I had no idea why Gerardo's wife was like asking us not to speak English while Gerardo was on the phone. And it turned out that it was Bobby Fischer calling, and he was like, this is the most insane request ever. He wanted Gerardo to like contact Saddam Hussein so he could arrange he could arrange a match with the top Iraqi chess player, you know, just to like spite the American government when Saddam Hussein was still in power. It was just totally bizarre. Move 11, I don't know what to do here. I really don't know what to do. Let's just do this. So that was weird. Gerardo was like, yeah, it was Bobby. He wants me to arrange a meeting with, or he wants me to contact Saddam Hussein. We're like, whoa. That's just strange, dude. He had a vendetta against the American government for naturally trying to arrest him. Alright, so we're just taking the pawn here. Bobby had a lot of connections in Hungary, though. Alright, it looks like move 11 just lost his game. Game on. That's two connectors. That's going to be hard to hold. Do you think maybe Saddam Hussein was an anti-Semite? Besides just being like a murderous dictator, that too, probably. But I'm not really an authority on the subject. C5 was a terrible blunder for black. We're just winning now. But I have to be a tad careful. Opposite color bishops are always sharp. I'm an anti-landscaper. I hate landscapers. Alright. They're outside. It's unbelievable. It poured rain yesterday. Like torrentially, and the yards here where I live are completely saturated and it's totally wet. And they're like outside making noise, like mowing the lawn somewhere. It's totally insane. Alright. You just don't mow the lawn when it's like saturated with water in the beginning of December. These poor people get scammed by dastardly landscapers. Rook on h to e1. And they disturbed my stream with their stupid, noisy Rida mowers. Rock was hanging. A rock was hanging. I don't know enough about Saddam Hussein. Not my bowl of fruit. Not my bag. But I do know about chess a little bit. Well, I mean, the main thing was that Saddam Hussein and Fischer had, like, in common the fact they both hated the American government. So it wasn't necessarily about Fischer's anti-Semitism that he wanted to contact Saddam Hussein. They both just hated America, you know, so it's more about that. Was the reason why he wanted to, despite the American government, more like politically. Alright, move 11. We've got 20 minutes left in the stream, guys. I'm anti-landscaper. I hate landscapers. I discriminate against landscapers. Can we improve the king here? I know it's not politically correct, but I discriminate against landscapers. It's already pretty weird to quit chess and start secretly going to tournaments in 1972. He was pretty gone from the get-go. Yeah. Fischer had many issues. Unfortunately, I never met him. Though I could have, and I had friends that did, while he was in Budapest. But they said that he could be completely normal. Like, it would just come up like randomly. You know, he would just be absolutely normal 1 minute, and the next minute he would start raving about stuff, you know. And then snap back, like he would snap back into being normal again. Alright. Our king is going to be strong on e5, I think. Did I say that? Our king is going to be strong on e5. Alright. I said it and I mean it. And I mean it. I said what I mean and I mean what I say. And I'm mean. I'm just plain mean. Move 11. Let's go. Always sack the exchange. Opposite color bishop is always about sacking the exchange. Do I have this move? He's hanging tough. I didn't really want to allow this, but it should be enough to win. Yeah, that's probably too passive. You had to try, like, going behind the pawn. Getting a lot of tense endgames here. It is late. Alright, GG. Another torture endgame. Yeah, that was not the first one today. I had that other endgame against Clash Kid that was also a torture endgame. So you guys get to see my specialty here. Torturous endgames. Percy Hepworth is up next. Don't let him be white. Alright, good. He plays the English too well. He's not allowed to be white. I think this is going to be our last game for today, guys. I've got to leave at 2:15. And this game will likely last the full 15 minutes. Your grandfather was able to send both of his sons to elite universities as an immigrant landscaper. Alright. Yeah, but in those days, landscapers had to walk both ways uphill, Bob. The landscapers today's landscapers are just not respectable. There's no comparison. Those days, landscapers had to walk uphill both ways to school every day. You can't compare the corrupt landscapers of today to your grandfather's era. Grandfather was a good man, but he wouldn't approve of today's landscapers either. Castles, just... Alright, great stream today. D4. Another boring variation. I play all this boring stuff, man. This is boring. Symmetrical English. Gosh. Percy Hepworth plays the English himself, so he's naturally playing a symmetrical English. This is kind of a critical line, and another line where long-term torture is highly likely to occur. Zoltan Ribley versus Karpov. They could torture each other. Karpov versus Ribley. Great 80s battle of torture experts. You got this, Will. Slight edges are rare these days. Well, there is no slight edge here, objectively, but that's for sure. He called them sissy strollers, self-propelled mowers. No, what I just see is like a lot of landscapers. I'm going to get off the landscaper thing, but just the last comment, you know, why I get angry about it is like a lot of people take advantage of the elderly, and it's really, really very, very common to see contractors and landscapers and other people exploiting elderly people. And I see it all the time, and it's just ridiculous, and it goes really unmitigated. Plus, it's just really loud. Landscapers are controversial. I live in a place where there is no natural industry, so basically, there aren't enough jobs. Everybody becomes landscapers. There's not enough natural jobs here. So, not in Hungary, obviously. There needs to be more industry. Make landscaping great again. Rook b8 from Percy Hepworth. Okay, that's a rare move. Why is that? I think rook c8, we had this once before against someone else. Rook c8, rook c5, rook h5 is actually a theme. Rook d1 is interesting. bg5. Elderly people are both fastidious about lawn care and physically incapable of doing it themselves, and also easy prey to people who take advantage of them, which is bad. Right, that's enough about landscaping. It is getting boring. So, but right now I mentioned because there's this, you guys can hardly hear it, but there's this totally unnecessary noise outside that pisses me off. Alright, rook to b8. Let's play another move here. Bishop g5. Actually, bishop g5 is good. I don't know why I'm hesitating with this. Even here in Las Vegas, grass stalls during winter. Yeah, I mean, it's a little insane to mow your lawn in December. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I think that's pretty strange, you know? I mean, I understand if you live in Florida, but if you live in a temperate climate, like, my grass is, like, not growing right now. So, there is no reason to be mowing the lawn, basically. Unless you're just gonna, like, charge people for the sake of charging them for grass that's not growing. I mean, it's a little strange. It's not like I live in Florida. I live in in a temperate climate here. What do you call it? Seasonal climate. But I just can't stand people who take advantage of other people. Drinking beer pisses me off. I love beer. I love beer a lot. In fact, I'm thinking of running for for the Supreme Court. Beer is really good, and I love drink. Sometimes I drink a little bit too much beer. Alright, b6. This looks kind of passive for black. So we get our pieces into position. Which rook to use here? The F rook or the C rook? The A rook. The A rook, it's a Freudian slip. I meant the A rook. I want to play rook A C1. F rook. Decisions. Alright, so how do I make progress here? Progress. Bam! A lamb shank, nice, with Belgian beer. That sounds awesome, Bob. You had to say that when I'm due to have lunch. Man, that sounds awesome. I'm so hungry right now. Okay, Percy Hepworth just hanging on. Hanging on and hanging out. The other thing is like annoying people who get like ride-a-mowers for this like tiny lawn. It's like 40 square feet. They have to buy like a ride-a-mower to cut that and like disturb the whole neighborhood. Alright, I'm done now. I'm done complaining about landscaping. Maybe b3 is more flexible. It has to be played at one point anyway. Keep all your options open. Yeah, that's a good point, Mozart. I think that at the end of the day, maybe rook a d1 was also better than rook f d1. This is reminding me of a game I think Botvinnik played against Lilienthal. Now that I think about it, I was talking about a Lilienthal game today. Lilienthal Smyslov, Soviet Championship 1941. I have the tournament book, a really good tournament book. Great tournament. Lots of strong players in that. Lilienthal was Hungarian. You know, I have a picture of Lilienthal with Fischer in 1992. That was sent to me by Naj Laszlo. They're like Fischer. Was it 92? Yeah, I guess after the match. This is similar. Percy Hepworth finding the plan. Okay, rook e8. So if anybody... Yeah, this is a Botvinnik game against Lilienthal where he won really easily. I'm not sure I have it here. It's not. I'm not sure it's in the cards in this position for me. Lilienthal did something bad, like he played a6 and b5, and maybe he just allowed Botvinnik to get like an outside pawn or something. I'm trying to remember the game now. It was like Botvinnik played like a4, and maybe Black played b5 and just allowed like a4, a5 with the queenside passer. Some kind of endgame. It was, I remember, it was like a knight endgame. Maybe it came down to like a knight endgame where Botvinnik just had this like a pawn and Lilienthal couldn't stop it. Like his knight was on e8 or somewhere stupid. So, alright. My queen is pretty strangely placed now on h4. But I've been very impressed by this Percy Hepworth character. He plays amazingly well for his... Well, I don't know. There is no rating, really. I think he must have a Smurf account. Because he has no games here. Like, 1,600 based on 26. What's your deal, Percy Hepworth? Why do you have no games? No rated games? You never tell us, but... You have, like, multiple accounts? I gotta get out of here. I guess I could play Queen d4, as strange as that might seem. Then I'm not sure where my bishop is retreating to. This seems really weird to go here. I'm not sure he has a strong response. Congratulations to William for exceeding 2,500 ELO on lichess. Well, it's been a long time, S4, but it's not my first time. I don't really... Thanks. I don't really care that much about it. It is kind of cool to be in the top 10 on Rapid, but I don't really think about my ratings that much. But it feels good to be good at something. I think I could probably get my Blitz rating a lot higher if I really competitively play Blitz, but I just don't have time. You know, I'm sure I could be like 2,600 in Blitz if I actually took the time to focus on it. But who has time for stuff like that? Queen d2, avoiding exchanges. Alright, let's do it. Let's play aggro. I guess I should have thought about just taking... No, he'll take with the pawn. No, he's okay there. I can't trade queens really and expect anything special. This is probably okay to do this. Guys, last game for today. But anyway, S4, thank you. It's been a while since my Rapid rating has been over 2,500. Or maybe I never went over in Rapid, I'm not sure. Remember in the old days, a couple years ago, lichess, how did it work? There was no Rapid, there was just classical. Bishop takes f6. We could go into a what do you call it, heavy piece endgame with a small advantage. This is probably a theoretical mistake. It's another grind. Who predicted the grind? Next goal, 2,600. He has all sorts of resources here. Have you seen my resources? There's got to be a joke with resources and racehorses. It's a good Good chances for a verbal pun there. Knight e4. Guys, last game today. I'm going to be back tomorrow. It's going to be Tuesday. Blitz 5+2 casual arena tomorrow night. 4:30 Eastern time. Tomorrow afternoon if you prefer. Oh, he found it. Surprise, surprise. Okay. So, what a surprise. Now, how do I exploit my positional advantage here? Go for h4. Start grinding. Botvinnik. Just start grinding. Master M just takes it. My God, he's a materialist. Take him downtown. He's coming for me. He's coming for me with the counterplay. Check him out. Wow. Just in time. He set it up perfectly with e6, and then he didn't play d5. What's up with that? I thought you were coming to get me, and just when you were about to get me, you didn't get me. Well, that's weird. That was totally surprising. It looked like Percy Hepworth had played brilliantly. He was going to get in d5 with counterplay. Then he hesitated. I'm playing a simul. Indeed. Wednesday. Around 11:15. Eastern time. European-based simul. Man. There's got to be a way to put him away here. Can't imagine what my next move is going to be. Mate. It's mate. Another torture. Checkmate. Alright. I will see you guys later. Anyway, it was fun today. Tomorrow night is viewer tournament 5+2 arena 4:30. And then Wednesday we're going to do a simul early stream around 11:15 Eastern time with 2.5 hour simul. Just for you European guys. Not every Wednesday. We'll mix it up. Maybe sometimes we'll do a simul. Sometimes we'll do Weird Wednesday, different stuff. Okay, guys, so that's the schedule. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Thanks, Move11, Merle Dixon, Perpetual Stalemate. Everybody for donating bits to support the stream. Thanks for subscribing. It was fun, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me. And from the Ponda crew, goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. See you later, guys. Take care. Tomorrow night.